The Paris Opera House, 1870. Grand, opulent, a beacon of culture and artistry where the elite gathered to witness the finest performances, a labyrinth of shadows and secrets. Beneath its grandeur lay a world unknown to most. Deep beneath the glittering stage, a phantom lurked, a figure shrouded in mystery and fear. He was a ghost, they said, a creature of darkness, a legend whispered among the staff and performers. His voice, a whisper in the wings, a haunting presence that sent chills down the spine of anyone who heard it. His touch, a chill down your spine, an icy reminder of his ever-watchful gaze. No one had seen his face, not truly. His visage was hidden behind a mask, adding to the enigma. But they knew his mark, a single red rose, a calling card, a symbol of his presence and his power. The Phantom, they called him, a name that struck fear and fascination in equal measure. He was a master of the opera house. Every rope, every lever, every hidden passage was under his control. He knew its every nook and cranny, every secret passage and hidden door, controlled its every lever and pulley. The machinery of the opera house was his to command. His presence was felt everywhere, yet he was nowhere and everywhere at once. Whispers followed him, stories of his deeds and his wrath, tales of his wrath, his fury. His anger was legendary and his vengeance swift. He was a force of nature, untamed and unpredictable. He was a musician, a genius. His talent was unparalleled, his passion unmatched. His music echoed through the empty halls, haunting melodies that sent shivers down your spine, each note a testament to his brilliance and his torment. They said he was a sorcerer, a master of dark arts whose music held a power beyond comprehension, that his music held dark magic, enchanting and terrifying in equal measure. But his true power lay in his ability to evoke the deepest emotions, to touch the soul and stir the heart, to stir the soul and break the heart. His music was a mirror to his soul, reflecting his pain and his longing. The opera house was his kingdom, his sanctuary, a place where he could reign supreme, unseen and unchallenged. Here in the darkness he could be himself, free from the prying eyes of the world above, free from the judgment of the world, free to create, to dream, to exist, free from the pain of his past, a past filled with sorrow and rejection. But even in this self-imposed exile he yearned for connection, for love, a love that seemed forever out of reach, a love he believed he could never have, a love that haunted his dreams and fueled his music. He wasn't born a phantom. He was once a child, innocent and full of potential. Once he had a name, a life. He had dreams and aspirations, just like anyone else. But fate had dealt him a cruel hand. A storm that would change his life forever. His disfigurement, a cruel twist of nature, became his curse. It was a mark that set him apart from the rest of the world. It set him apart, made him an outcast. He was no longer seen as a person but as a spectacle. His own reflection, a stranger in the mirror. A constant reminder of the life he could never have. He was a prisoner in his own skin. Society shunned him. The walls of his room became his only sanctuary. They recoiled from his appearance, their eyes filled with fear and disgust, saw only the monster, not the man. They couldn't see the soul trapped within. Their fear cut deeper than any blade. It was a wound that never healed. It drove him into the shadows, away from the light, away from the world, into the arms of the opera house, a place where he could hide, yet still be a part of something grand. Here, he found solace in the darkness. The empty seats became his silent companions. In the music that flowed from his soul, each note a piece of his heart, he hid his face behind a mask, a porcelain shell that hid his pain, his shame, a porcelain shell that hid his pain, his shame. But it couldn't hide his emotions, but the mask couldn't hide the longing in his eyes, the deep desire for connection, the desperate yearning for acceptance, for love, a touch, a kind word, anything to break the isolation. He was a tortured soul seeking redemption in the beauty he created. His music was his salvation. He poured his heart into his music, each composition a testament to his inner world, his compositions a reflection of his inner turmoil. They were beautiful, haunting, full of the pain he couldn't express in words, full of longing and despair, each melody a cry for understanding. The music became his voice, his only means of communication with a world that had turned its back on him. His only means of communication with a world that had turned its back on him. Through his music, he found a way to speak, to be heard, even if no one was listening. Then, she arrived. Christine Daae, a name that would soon be whispered in awe throughout the opera house. A young soprano with the voice of an angel, her notes soaring effortlessly, captivating every soul in the audience. Her beauty, both ethereal and innocent, seemed almost otherworldly, as if she had stepped out of a dream. He watched her from the shadows, his eyes never leaving her, listened to her sing, each note a siren call to his soul, her voice a beacon of light in his darkness. He became obsessed, unable to resist the pull of her music. He saw in her a kindred spirit, a soul that resonated with his own tormented heart, a soul untouched by the cruelty of the world, pure and untainted by the harsh realities of life. He swore to protect her, to nurture her talent, to ensure that her gift would not be squandered. He would make her a star, the brightest the world had ever seen, a luminary in the firmament of opera, the greatest the world had ever seen, her name echoing through the annals of history.
The angel of music, she called him, her voice filled with reverence and gratitude.
He became her secret tutor, guiding her from the shadows, his presence a constant, unseen force. He taught her everything he knew, every nuance, every technique, his knowledge a treasure trove she eagerly absorbed. His knowledge, his passion poured into her. She was his muse, his obsession, the center of his universe. He would possess her, even if it meant keeping her captive in his world of shadows and music. He composed for her, each note a testament to his devotion, arias that showcased her voice, pieces that highlighted her unique timbre and range, melodies that touched her soul, resonating with the deepest parts of her being. She believed his love was pure, unconditional, a sanctuary in a world that often felt cold and unfeeling. But her innocence blinded her to the darkness that lurked beneath his affection, a shadow that threatened to consume them both.